So despite it being another mediocre Icast this year, Daiwa USA actually released 4 new baitcasters. That of course brings us to the Tackle Warehouse page, and let us go to casting reels. And if you look here, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4 new Daiwa baitcasters. The first one we're going to talk about is going to be the cheapest, most budget friendly, the Aired 80. Now this reel comes in at $99, which used to be a hugely contested price point for baitcasters, but a $99 baitcaster is pretty rare these days. And if you take a look at it, looks to be just a rehashed version of their 80 series. So they had the CC80, some other 80 series reel, and then the CA80. Now the CA80 was also $99, and that reel had an aluminum frame, and I believe the Aired 80 is going to take the place of this CA80, and unfortunately this one has a composite frame and side plates. So I guess it's just getting too expensive for companies to have an aluminum frame reel at the $99 price point. And let me show you the reel that I'm pretty sure it's going to be replacing, which is right here, the CA80. And you can see the price says $99 to $109. So I'm not sure if this is going away. It's not on sale. I doubt they're going to be selling them side by side. Maybe the CA80 is going to stick around at the $109 price point, so you can pay $10 extra and get an aluminum frame. But for those of you who don't know, these 80 series reels from Daiwa are not Daiwa engineered and built. These are in fact Doyo reels made for Daiwa, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just know these are not going to come with any of Daiwa's proprietary brake system. Even though it says here MagForce LC concept, this is going to be a MagTrack style system. So yeah, the new Aired 80 casting reel from Daiwa. Unfortunately for this reel, Shimano's SLX A is also $99 and has an aluminum frame. So yeah, I would take that reel over this reel all day, every day. All right, let's go to the next reel, and this is a really pretty reel. This is the Daiwa Coastal TW200, and we're gonna check out Tackle Warehouse's little short promo video on it, because I want you guys to check this reel out up close. And here we go. Looks like Daiwa's reel engineer has an exploded view of the new Coastal TW200, and I'm just gonna let you guys, we're gonna pause it right here. Look at how good looking this reel looks, and you could barely even see the best looking part of the reel, which is that handle that has some beveling machined out of it that they anodized this really pretty blue. Let me see if I can fast forward. Right, can you see the blue anodization? Yeah, this is a really good looking reel. Of course, all the blue designates it as being a inshore saltwater reel. And of course, this is packing that 200 line capacity. So it's going to be packing a super deep spool. And if you take a look at the spool right down here where I'm touching, oh yeah, there's a better view of the handle. Yeah, but if you take a look at the spool, it looks to be a fixed rotor. So it's not a dynamic MagForce Z rotor. But let me keep fast forwarding to let you guys look at the reel, because we don't want to see these guys, we want to see the reel. So yeah, you can definitely see the blue anodization on that handle. Yep, there we go. It's gonna come with some foam power type knobs of the thinner variety, aluminum blue end caps, and I believe this has, of course, the hyperdrive lower edition. That means it's going to have a long spool shaft on the spool, but it's going to have the aluminum handle side plate. But you can see how deep that spool is right there. There's the exploded view. See, if you take a look, I can pause it right here at the spool. Nope, I can't explode up the video, but yeah, you can see that the rotor is probably fixed. It's kind of a disappointment, but it is what it is. I'm not sure why these super deep spools can't have a moving rotor. But let's keep on fast forwarding. These guys are talking quite a lot. Yeah, you can see how deep that spool is. Look at that. So I wonder if this is actually the same frame as the Tatula SV, the small one. But you can see on the spool it said LC concept. So it looks like Daiwa is bringing out a marketing term, or I guess I should say a new marketing term, where if the spool is not an SV spool, they're going to call it a LC long cast concept spool. Now don't be tricked, they're not doing anything different, they're just renaming something, making you think it's a new technology. Alright, let's go check it out on the web page. Look at that. Look at that thing. So it's got a dark bluish gray body, blue spool, of course the blue end caps, and the anodization on the handle. But the price, $299. That's a lot. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite popular, as Shimano's Tranx 200 is an aging platform that needs to be updated, and that would be its main competition. But it looks like this is going to be available July 22nd, so allegedly only about 2 or 3 days from now. Alright, let's go to the next reel from Daiwa. We're just going to briefly touch on it. It's going to be a new Lexa 500. Now, I know Daiwa had 300 and 400 size reels in the past, but I can't remember if they ever had a 500 size reel. This is going to be basically your competition against Shimano's ancient Tranx 500, which I believe cost like $150 more than this Lexa. Of course, I'm not into super huge reels like this, but there is a new 500 size low profile baitcaster from Daiwa. And that brings us to the last reel. This is probably going to be the one that most people who are watching this video are going to be interested in. That's going to be the quote-unquote new Tatula X. Yes, we have yet another Tatula, and let's see if they have a promo video. And they do. Let's check it out. Alright, so I'm just going to let them talk, and you guys can check out the reel for yourself, and then I'm going to tell you what it is once the video is done. All right, nice blue spool. Now I can't tell if that color is like a dark gray or a bluish gray. See the LC concept printed on the spool. I know a lot of you guys recognize this reel. Alright, they're talking too much. I'm gonna have to fast forward through a lot of this, or just speed it up for you guys during the editing, because there's no way that they can talk this much about this particular reel. Alright, enough. Alright, so the Tatula X100. Now, is it Tatula X or Tatula 10? But either way, what this reel is the, I believe, 2019 Tatula 100. It was that all black Tatula that had the red trim pieces on each side of the thumb bar. And all Daiwa did was repaint it into a grayish blue color, change the color of the spool, took away those red thumb bar trim pieces, and they called it the Tatula X100. Okay, so hyperdrive design, hyper armed housing, and the good news is this LC concept spool is MagForce Z, so it is the dynamic magnetic system, but pretty much that's what this reel is. Daiwa is just milking this platform by giving us a quote-unquote new Tatula. Now don't get me wrong, Daiwa isn't the only company out there that milks their existing platforms by using them in several different models. Shimano does it too, but they don't do it nearly to the extent that Daiwa does. Now the good news is that price has dropped on this reel. I believe the Tatula 100 that came out in 2019 came out at like $169, and eventually the price was raised to $179. Well, this is only $149. So if you are a fan of that platform, looks like Daiwa is keeping it in the lineup, but they're just calling it the Tatula X, and they lowered the price significantly. Now the question is this gonna take the place of that aging Tatula CT platform? Let's see if Daiwa still has it listed in the lineup. Wow, they have a lot of models. Right here, the Tatula CT. Also $149. Not on sale, not on clearance. So at the $150 price point, it looks like you guys are gonna have two choices. Personally, I would take the X because it is smaller and more compact, and in my opinion, better looking. Now, of course, Daiwa did come out with some spinning reels, but you know, I don't really do spinning reels on this channel. So if you want to check out all the new things that came out from Daiwa at this year's Icast, of course, go to Tackle Warehouse's webpage and check them out for yourself. All right, guys, thanks a lot.